Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Spice Vader. Today I am going to be taking the old system I have here. It's a Corsair Carbide 200R mid-tower, and I'm going to take the components out of it and we're going to swap it into this bad boy. This is the case that Gamers Nexus didn't like.
In one word, this case is unfocused.
And I got it cheap because of that. So thanks to them and thanks to Woot for this being only $100, I'm gonna build in this case. I can never remember if it's the 6500X or D. I'll put it up on screen which one it actually is, but it's a 6500 series. The difference is the front will have a mesh grille versus a glass panel, and that's really the only major difference. Otherwise, yes, we're gonna crack this open, take a look, and see what's in here, and see what the fuss is all about, if this case is really that bad. Ooh. It's pretty sweet looking. There's some similar cases like the, the 011D is what this was based off of, and there's also the NZXT H9. I was waiting for a good deal on those, but I could not get one. This is $100, and this is that dual chamber case that I was looking for, so let's risk this.
A few moments later.
I'm gonna not risk it. That makes me feel better. Okay, there's one, and there's the other. Yeah, there's some heft to it. I'll put the specs on screen of its size and everything. Like I said, I was looking for specifically an NZXT H9 flow, but this case showed up on Woot, and I said, yeah, let's do that. Let's flip it around here so you can see the main shot of the case. This is very large. So this is the Carbide 200R, and I already thought that this was a heavy case that was bulky. Now I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, boy, it's even wider. I mean, it's got the dual chamber where the PSU is gonna go in here. Gamers Nexus had some issues with like the design of just the layout of things, like the tray in the back here for the hard drive caddy. Yeah, I can see what they're saying. The motherboard connectors for the CPU 8-pin will go through here, and then you just end up losing this hard drive bay. I probably won't need it because I'm going to be running NVMe SSDs, but it's kind of nice if I want some just like large spinning disk storage to throw in here. It would be good to have those spots available. And this is my first tempered glass case on this channel. I've had plexiglass cases with my Fractal Design Define R5, I believe. But I sold that off to my nephew, and I decided not to get another one of those. But I do like white cases. I just like how they look. It definitely beats that beige look of the old days, and black is good too. I like black, but it kind of gets lost in like video shots and stuff. So I'm gonna take my components inside, so let's crack this open and see what we're working with here. That's something I'm ready to be done with, is this stupid front panel fans. This bearing is shot. Wow. So we've got an RTX 3080 in here, Corsair HX 1500i PSU, and I've got a 12900K on an eVGA Z690 Classified, 32 gigs of Corsair, I don't know if this is, no, it's Corsair Vengeance RAM, not Dominator. Right now I'm running this 2 terabyte external NVMe, and I'm gonna put this internal instead of having it in an external enclosure. And I have another purpose for this case. It has lots of hard drive spots, so I'm probably gonna fill it up with some drives and make it kind of a NAS. But this is basically gonna be the donor component case. We're gonna throw it in there, see how the build goes. I actually got this case from my brother as a birthday gift, so thanks to my brother. Corsair generally makes good stuff. And unless you're like a case snob like Steve is at Gamers Nexus, you'll probably be fine with a lot of the cases out there. But I do agree with him on holding them to a higher standard of accountability. If we let them get away with things, they'll continue to make things worse and cheaper. That's not a good thing. This case didn't come with any fans, so I'm gonna have to transplant some of my non-Corsair fans for now. I plan to go with the IQ fans later on. They're kind of expensive, but again, I wanted to do an eVGA crossover Corsair build, so that's kind of what I'm shooting for here. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. This is amazing. Thank you so much for your support, all of you. I really appreciate it. The goal is 1,000 subscribers so I can turn that AdSense switch on, and I don't want your money, I just want your views. So view the content, like, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, and let's get to 1,000, and then I can put more content out if I can get a little revenue, you know what I'm saying? I love doing this kind of stuff, working with hardware. It's my passion to work on computers. I work in the IT industry, so just like following my dream on this a little bit. I'll give you a little secret. My plan with this is to run 2 GPUs. I want a 3090 Ti. I want 2 3090 Ti's, NVLink and SLI. I want to build the last, greatest system you can build that had SLI. It's going to be expensive. I'm saving up. But for now, I'm just going to put the 3080 in. My next build, if I were to go anything newer, would probably be an AMD CPU. I flipped it around for like no reason. Oh, you guys are going to love this. It's terrible, but this is my, it didn't have a 5 1/4 bay fan mount, so I made one out of like an old DVD case. It was really horrible. But you know what? It worked. It drew some more air in because from there, it hits the Noctua cooler here. So we get a little more CPU cooling. I'm looking at that eVGA CLCX cooler just because it's eVGA, not because it's really great. I could do a Corsair one. So as long as I get Corsair or eVGA, that'll be kind of the build here. But this Noctua cooler is really solid, even on a 12900K. So what better reason to clean your case than to just completely take all the components out and put it in something else, right? The eVGA Z690 Classified. I still have it. I had a 13600KF in it for a little bit. I sold that chip, and then I went down to something really low, like a 12100, and that was a good chip too. And I was like, I want more power, so I went to a 12600, and then I'm like, I want a little bit more, so I got the 12900K. Now it should come out. The 12900K that I have is one of those AVX 512 enabled CPUs, and the BIOS supports the AVX 512 mode, so it's another reason I like this classified board. That's all the goodies out of the case. I'm gonna do some prep work to the board before I throw it into the case. Okay. There. Now we'll pop in our M.2. Shouldn't matter too much because it's got the big old plate covering it, but there. Now I've got 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes, so I've got 3 terabytes total here. Plus I have a 512 gig SATA SSD that I'm going to put in as well. That should give us plenty of storage for future projects and testing and all kinds of stuff. Samsung 840 Pro. This goes back a little ways. SATA SSD doesn't need to be the fastest thing. It just has to hit that 600 megabytes per second, I think. This is the 6500D Airflow from Corsair. It has the mesh paneling on it, and it doesn't have any fans included. The 6500X has fans, I believe, and the RGB version of that also has included fans. Yeah, I could tell what they were saying about some of the quality things here. The top panel has some denting in it, but it's not perfectly straight, so it must be easy for this to bend. So I have to kind of bend it back and nudge it back into shape. We'll pop this back in. So I've learned from Gamers Nexus's video on the 6500D Airflow, the best place for the best temperatures is going to be air coming through the front panel. I don't have any radiators, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I have 3 thermal take ones I'm going to put in the front for best airflow. Nothing will be on the side here. And the bottom will have nothing as well. I'll have one on the back. Anyway, let's get to building in this case. I wanted to take this side panel off, and it looks like there's a screw up top, and then it'll swing out, and you should be able to lift this panel off. I just don't want to risk damaging it while I'm in this process, especially since I know that tempered glass can just shatter. But as I try to take the screw out, it doesn't seem like it wants to budge at all. I don't know if I'm missing something on that, or maybe if I pull it all the way here. Hey, there we go. It finally loosened. Okay, so swing the panel all the way, and that will put tension on the hinge so that you can actually get the screw out. And then we should be able to just lift it straight up. There we go. Now we've learned something. Now we can switch out this 6500D front for the glass. I've thought about doing that. It's like a $40 upgrade. For today, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But I will need to get that off so that I can put the fans on. What they've nicely included here, in this case, is a little organizer with their patented quick turn screws that Gamers Nexus pointed out. And so that'll be kind of nice to try out. And it also has this little kind of header thing. So you just put this on the motherboard, and then you just have to hook up the actual panel connectors to it. I'm probably not going to need it because it looks like this is on a big block as it is. So I'm just going to not use that. And there's an extra standoff in here and some other screws. I think EATX will look best in this case just because it fills up most of the space. Gamers Nexus said this is about 15 kilograms. So yeah, it's about 32 pounds. That's pretty heavy. But I mean, it feels durable. You can watch Gamers Nexus's review on all the detailed specs in their review. I'm not doing that today. I just wanted to see what the experience was like installing in the case, since they made it seem like it was such a horrible time and it wasn't worth the money. I don't know, this thing feels really solid and like a really nice case. I'm pretty happy so far. I want to get this front panel off. And this just peels off. So maybe that's all I was trying to get to. So that's kind of nice to know. You don't need to take these side screws off if you're just going to be putting fans in. And then let me try out one of these quick turn fan screws. Oh yeah, that goes in real nice. I do have a solution for the issue of the motherboard, the CPU power plugs that are going to get in the way. I'm going to, so there's two screws here. I'm going to take out the tray first. Yeah, the CPU end is what is going to be on the CPU. So let's put it in here. I'm going to leave this tray out for now. Let's just put it aside, not even think about it. I think this was already set up to handle EATX. I located the USB-C connector. There's 4 up top and a USB-C port. I would need a second USB 3 header though, and I only have 1 on the motherboard. But I could get 2 hooked up and a USB-C, and that should be plenty. So there's little pass-throughs here that we could stick these wires through. And this is pinned, so we just need to push it on. Easy peasy. I like that they've gone to that. Plug this in here. Good. I don't need to go too crazy on the wiring because this is all subject to change and I don't need to get it too situated, you know, one way or another. I just kind of ran the wiring down the channel here, and now it's in the back in this little cavern here where all the excess wiring can hang out. Let's put the power supply in, and it won't matter that this is a black power supply because it's all going to be hidden. So we'll just want to put it in a way that will actually get air, so not like this, we want to put it like this. Okay, PSU is mounted. The next thing I want to do is start hooking up some cables Really though, with how much room is in this case to work with, there's really not much issue I'm having. You see where this black one is? Put it right next to it here. It'll fit. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, now we're back on track. Had a little hiccup, but my daughter helped me, so we're on the road to installation once again. There. All right, this warrants some better cable management, but I just want to be done with it. So it's got little locks in there, just like that. Then I'll flip it around. And that's the final look at it. Look how deep it is. Like, or you could put another radiator and stuff in there. Like, there's a lot of extra room in here. It's nice. I like it. Are you ready for the moment everybody waits for? The peel. Let's fire it up and see what it does. Here we go. This is way too fancy for me. Here's the backside view of it. All the fans are working, including my solid white one. Anyway, that's the build for today. This is the Corsair 6500D airflow with the mesh front panel on it. Got the peel on the front. Boom. Corsairified plus eVGA. A little bit of cooler master with that mount, but hey, that's what it looks like. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. Share it with other people. Thanks for watching. God bless. Take care.